Hannah Gosselin is pulling back the curtain on what it was really like to grow up in front of millions. Alongside her sextuplet siblings, Alexis, Aaden, Collin, Leah, and Joel, and older twin sisters, Mady and Cara, Hannah first entered the public eye as a child in the TLC special Surviving Sextuplets and Twins in 2006 and 1 year later in 2007. The overwhelming popularity of those early documentaries quickly led to the launch of the hit series Jon Kate Plus 8, which debuted in April 2007 and ran for a full decade until July 2017. Fans watched the Gosselin children grow from playful toddlers to teenagers, but behind the scenes, the experience wasn't always picture-perfect. Although Hannah said she and her siblings eventually grew accustomed to the ever-present cameras, the attention brought its own set of struggles, especially during their formative years and the dynamic between her parents. Well, penning up about her childhood in the spotlight, Hannah admitted that living life on TV made it difficult to form genuine friendships. "I never knew if people really wanted to get to know me or if they just wanted to be on the show," she shared. That constant uncertainty, she said, made navigating adolescence even more complicated in an already unusual upbringing. Hannah was just a toddler when the cameras first rolled. For years, the film crew was a fixture in her daily life, living on the Gosselin property and documenting nearly every waking moment. "You're always surrounded," she recalled. "The film crew was there 24/7. That was our normal." But as Hannah and her siblings began attending school, she quickly realized their version of normal was anything but. Paparazzi waited at the bus stop. Cameras resumed filming the second they walked in the door and didn't stop until bedtime. "School mornings are stressful as it is," Hannah said, half laughing. "But imagine getting dressed with a camera in your face." To cope, the Gosselin kids developed clever workarounds. Aware that the network couldn't use footage containing brand names due to legal restrictions, the siblings would shout out trademarked products during moments they wanted to keep off air. "One of us would keep repeating a brand name while another did or said something we didn't want filmed," Hannah explained. Eventually, the crew caught on and asked them to stop. But for a while, it gave the kids a small sense of control over their heavily curated lives. Despite the constant surveillance, Hannah said the experience initially brought her and her siblings closer, but it came at a cost. "Filming made my siblings and I closer to each other," she admitted, "even though it made my parents further from each other." By the time Jon and Kate's contentious divorce made headlines in 2009, the strain was already apparent. "It's hard to go back and watch my parents argue," Hannah said quietly. Knowing the whole world was watching too, it made everything more complicated. Following their split, the show was rebranded as Kate Plus 8, continuing to film Kate and the children without Jon. But the cracks within the family continued to deepen. Eventually, in a move that made headlines again nearly a decade later, Hannah and her brother Collin left their mother's home in 2018 to live with Jon in Pennsylvania. The remaining siblings stayed with Kate, who later relocated with them to North Carolina. The decision to leave wasn't easy. Hannah admitted that while she felt closer to her father, separating from her siblings was heartbreaking. "I did not want to be separated from them or even live in a different household," she said. "But I just felt there was unfair treatment in my mom's house, and I wanted to live with my dad." Collin, on the other hand, who had long been estranged from both Kate and his siblings, has since made serious allegations against their mother. In a 2023 appearance on Dark Side of the 2000s, Collin claimed Kate had created a barrier between him and his siblings and accused her of being both physically and verbally abusive, a claim he reiterated in a 2024 interview. Kate responded publicly via Instagram, stating that Collin had received multiple psychiatric diagnoses and had been placed in a facility after an outburst involving a weapon. "This decision was made by emergency room doctors," she wrote. "Unfortunately, I believe Collin remains a very troubled young man who continues to need a lot of help. His brothers and sisters and I have not been directly involved in his life due to his history of unpredictable behavior and violent tendencies towards us." After 2 years in the facility, Collin joined Jon and Hannah in 2018. Despite the painful family divisions, Hannah said she often rewatches episodes of Jon and Kate Plus 8 when she misses her siblings. It helps me remember the good times," she said, "even if things are different now." Now, a young adult, Hannah has carved out a life for herself outside the camera's gaze. She used the money she earned from the show to pay for half of her college tuition, one of the few tangible benefits from years spent in the public eye. While the experience has left lasting emotional complexities, she holds a nuanced view of her reality TV upbringing. "It was difficult, but it made me who I am," she reflected. "I'll always carry those memories, some painful, some joyful, with me." Hannah Gosselin may have grown up on screen, but her story of love, loss, resilience, and fractured family is one that plays out far from the edited perfection of reality TV. And now, she's finally telling it in her own voice.